So the next one is um, the meaning of the BOPs. BOP of an economy reflects the situation and the changes in economic structure of the economy. So external economic transactions include both tangible and intangible economic outputs such as tourism, service, finance, transportation, exclusive rights, etc. At present, the main content of foreign economic transactions of some economies is tangible economic output, such as a vast number of developing countries and regions in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Some countries include some intangible economic output, such as Europe, the US, and Japan, and other developed countries and regions. With the trend of economic development, the portion of intangible economic output in the whole international economic transactions is constantly rising, which reflects the change of international economic structure. With the development of an economy and the deepening of foreign economic ties, the status of economic structure of primary goods in the proportion of declining manufactured goods and intangible goods will have a larger increase. The economy to the content of foreign economic and trade will appear from one primary product to give priority to with manufactured goods, and the final transition to paying equal attention to both tangible and intangible outputs bi-directional communication situation. It shows that economic development and maturity. For example, the current US computer software export revenues, Japan's foreign investment income, the British in the field of finance, insurance, and service income, tourism revenue in Italy, Spain, in their respective occupies an important status in the BOP, the deficit balance with other projects. And China's export structure change also reflects the process. Thus, the balance of payments position is indeed a good reflection of change in the economic structure of that economy. The last one is the BOP of an economy affects the economic growth and development within that economy. The outflow of economic outputs will often cause the outflow of its own resources and a corresponding decrease in the supply of domestic market. Outflow economy generates foreign exchange inflow and tend to increase the domestic money supply, which could increase the internal pressure of rising prices, boosting the economy. Therefore, it also emphasizes that increasing exports in exporting unemployment and stimulating the domestic economy, while a large amount of imports is importing unemployment and increase the pressure of economic contraction. The result largely depends on an economy's marginal propensity to import, which leads to a smaller so-called foreign trade multiplier effect for exports and larger one for foreign trade. In addition, BOP reflects short-term and long-term capital inflows and outflow. The short-term capital flows impact on economy cannot be neglected. Lessons from East Asia financial crisis of 1997 to 98 have provided insight to the impact of capital flows on economy in BOP. So the next topic is BOP adjustments. So BOP is closely related to the macroeconomic operation of an economy. In case of imbalance, it needs to adjust income and expenditure to restore balance. Usually, macroeconomic goals include economic growth, full employment, price stable, and international BOP balance. The imbalance of international payments is defined as the problem of balance of current account, capital, and financial account. The ending balance of current account can't be offset by balance of capital and financial account. That is, external economy has a circumstance need to be adjusted. Generally, any basic imbalance between current and long-term capital account need to be adjusted. That can be expressed in the equation as the BO balance of trade equal to goods export minus goods imports, and the current account balance equal to balance of trade plus intangible trade balance plus unilateral transfer. And basic balance is equal to current account balance plus net long-term capital flows. The last equation is what we use to denote the imbalance of BOP. There are also several types of the BOPs. BOP imbalance. First is the temporary imbalance of the international payments. This mainly refer to the international payments imbalance caused by accidental factors with reversibility. It often occurs because of temporary imbalance in trade that can be mitigated by international reserves. And the periodical imbalance of international payments. It mainly refers to the imbalance of international payments caused by the change of country's economic cycle. The balance of international payments tend to be in surplus when the economy is depressed and in deficit when the economy is booming. The next is income imbalance. This refers to the large increase or decrease in national income, resulting in a fundamental change in people's demands, the impact of imports and exports, the international BOP imbalance. And the next one is the monetary imbalance. Refers to the aggravation of inflation in a country or the change of foreign exchange rate of a country, which leads to the change of import and export and international capital flow of a country, resulting in the imbalance of international payments. The structural imbalance means the imbalance of payments caused by the large gap between the characteristic of country's industrial structure and the requirements of the international economy. The last is the investment environment imbalance. Refers to the imbalance of international payments caused by inflow and outflow of funds caused by the investment environment of a country.